Welcome back, all you sports and gambling fans out there. Are you ready for some NFL betting? I'm here today with Jeff Grant, and we're going to be looking at the Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl point spread. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing today, man?
It's finally here, Dax. It's Super Bowl week. It's what everybody's going to be talking about. One thing I did find interesting that's kind of off topic, but on the topic, is the fact that, Tiger Woods is coming back, and he's going to be playing a golf tournament in Phoenix. When did he schedule his press conference? Because he doesn't really like the media very much. At the start of Super Bowl Media Day. So I found that pretty interesting. Maybe he'll talk about Inflategate.
Yeah, clever man there. All right, Jeff. So clearly we saw how the Pats were two different teams offensively in their games against the Ravens and the Colts. Unfortunately, man, like we were talking before camera rolling, all we heard is, the Colts, freaking deflated balls thing, which honestly has everybody sick right now. Anyways, in your opinion, Jeff, putting all that scandal behind, what type of game plan do you expect to see from the Pats when they go up against the defending champs, man?
As a sports handicapper, you really have to just push all that talk aside. Yes, I think it does give an advantage to a team to play with a inflated ball that's not quite up to true measurement, as they'd say. But now you got to look at the numbers. You got to look at the game plan. You got to see how these two teams are going to attack each other. And as a sports bettor, it's very difficult to kind of see what the game plan is going to be overall, because both these teams are capable of moving the ball through the air and on the ground. And specifically, New England has really showed kind of a chameleon aspect in that regard, given the fact in their AFC divisional win against the Baltimore Ravens, they passed the ball 51 times, while in the AFC championship game against Indianapolis, they ran the ball 40 times for 177 yards. On the other end, though, New England's got to prepare for a lot defensively, given the fact that the first time Seattle ran the read option attack offensively was in that 2012 meeting at CenturyLink Field in the Pacific Northwest, a game that New England lost to Seattle.
All right, now talking about Seattle, we know that they have that explosive and dynamic backfield with Skittles and Russell Wilson. And this is probably what they're going to have to rely on, considering that the running game was what hurt the Pats mostly in that divisional playoff game against the Ravens. Now, I'm thinking that will they be able to have some type of success in this department? I know that New England's defense isn't that good, but what do you think, Jeff?
I think Seattle's going to have success running or throwing the football in this matchup. I think they're a difficult matchup in terms of an offense versus defense perspective. And you look at the numbers that Lynch and Wilson have put up this season. Lynch, kind of a quiet season, except for the end of the year, he kind of turns it on like he normally does. But he ranked 4th in the NFL with 1,306 rushing yards. And believe it or not, his 4.7 yard per carry average was the same as DeMarco Murray, who, of course, gained most of the national headlines in the rushing category for most of the season, leading the NFL in that category. While you look at Wilson, he tied for 16th in the NFL, rushing for 849 yards. Why is that an impressive number? Because when he gets downfield, 7.2 yards per carry. And I mentioned the read option aspect of this matchup. The first time during Wilson's rookie year coming out of Wisconsin, they developed this attack to take on New England, because New England doesn't have the most athletic defense, so they could really stretch them out and find some success. That's what they had in that contest. And they've built on that. Read option plays in 2014, specifically basically with Wilson and Lynch. Seattle ran 177 of those plays and averaged 5.6 yards per carry.
All right, Jeff, so taking all this into account, the majority of the books actually have this one at a pick'em and sometimes -1. But, the juice is kind of even on those pick'ems. Where should we see some value in this one then, man?
I'm going to go with the same thing I mentioned in the video last week. Our first look at the Super Bowl is the fact that I'm going to back the team that is the listed majority underdog at sportsbooks at the time of the kickoff, because I think that's going to be the winning selection. I'm going to get rid of all the noise, all the matchups, everything, and just look at the fact that let the betting action direct where my action is going to go, because you have two experienced quarterbacks that want the ball in pressure situations in the fourth quarter. When you look at Tom Brady, he's making a Super Bowl record 6th Super Bowl start. 46-31 in game-winning drive situations over the course of his career. That's with a game tied or trailing by 8 or fewer points in the fourth quarter overtime, while Wilson is 15-13 in that situation. Some people are going to fade Seattle because they kind of term it to be difficult to repeat as champions. But previous champions returning the following year in Super Bowl play are 8-3. And probably the most important statistic that we've kind of touched on in this video is rushing yards. The team that has the most rushing yards, 37-11 straight up, 34-11 and 3 against the spread. So right now, with Seattle being the underdog, and if they maintain that pace, they're going to be a dangerous underdog because you figure they might have the rushing total edge at the end of this game. But still, my pick's going to be the underdog at the opening kickoff.
All right, Jeff, good stuff as always, man. Thanks for the insights and the pick, man.
Thank you.
And everyone else, we'll be back tomorrow with some more free sports picks and coverage on your favorite games. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.